Hello, chefs. This is Chef's PSA. I'm your host, André Natera. Today I'm joined once again by two returning guest chefs, Dan Kennedy from Pasta Bar in Austin, and Travis Petersen, the Nomad chef, known for cooking with cannabis. We're talking about cannabis in the kitchen, chef etiquette, and what really goes on behind the scenes of cooking competition shows. It's a fun one. Let's get into it. Great restaurants don't always bring customers in. Great stories do. Because in food, beverage, and hospitality, what you sell is only part of the story. It's the why behind it, the authority you create, and the experience that you build. Market Scale turns expertise into content that connects. Podcasts, video series, and industry education. Not ads, assets. Market Scale has brought Run the Pass and How to Manage Like an Executive Chef to life. Real-world examples of how great content leads the conversation. Because attention is earned, and the industry doesn't need more noise, it needs more leaders. How's the tour going?
This has been the hardest thing I've ever put myself through. Mentally, physically, the plan was this. I knew this year that the tours had to come to an end. The tours pay the bills, so it's really hard to put an end date, but I had to do it. I said the end of summer, it's done. So let's go tour everywhere this summer. Let's hit all our cities. I had my other chef was going to do half the cities. I was going to do half the cities, but the half I sent him out to, they were complaining, wait, this is your last tour and you're not coming. Right. And so I took that to heart. There were a lot of people from cities that have been supporting me for the last couple of years, coming to every dinner, and they wanted me there. So I said, Jay, you can take the summer off and I'm going to go do all these. So we split this into two parts. The first part, we started July 4th in Buffalo, and then went to Boston, then Long Island, then Manhattan, then New Jersey, then Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia Beach. We took a week off. Went home, I packed my stuff up, put into a storage because we're moving to Miami. And I went back on the road July 23rd, Portland, and then to Vegas, then Sacramento, then San Francisco, San Jose, and then I flew to Grand Rapids, which was my 99th American city that I'd cooked in, then Detroit, then Nashville, and then up to Columbus, then Cincinnati, and now I'm here in Austin. But it's not over because tomorrow I'm going to Kansas City, and then I got to go to Chicago, and then on Saturday I go home to Phoenix, and I have my last Nomadic nights, 20 guests coming, and then this travel and pop-up, it's over.
So everyone wants to do it like, oh, they look at your life and like, oh, that sounds fun. I want to do that.
The grass is always greener on the other side, because I look at what Chef does and I'm like, man, to just have all the toys at your dispense and I got to travel with gear. So I got to pick and choose. And right now I'm doing a moqueca as one of my courses. So I brought a big giant pot that weighs 25 pounds, right, to go in my trunk. I can only have 70 pounds. So that kind of took up a large portion of the weight of what I can bring.
Yeah.
Because we're doing so many cities going hopping, I brought plates with me, which I don't normally do. And I've smashed 70% of them.
Yeah, you were saying that, would you bring 20 bowls? And
I had 20 stone bowls. We were in Portland. The back of the Uber opened. 2 suitcases slid. I went for the bigger one. I should have went for the smaller one because the bigger one just had clothes in it. The smaller one had the bowls. All of them smashed. It was like $1,000 right there. So it was like, all right, okay, this is fitting.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is sometimes you work in places where people break plates. Yeah. It's not a big deal because it's like, we got. Yeah. But for you, that is.
Plates
are everything.
Plates are my shoes. Girls love shoes. I go into a plate store. There's a chance I'm coming out. I don't even need these bowls, but man, they're going to look really cool with a dish one day, right? Yeah. So, I've got quite the collection at home, but yeah, that one stung and hurt a little bit for sure.
Shit.
So,
but has it been good otherwise?
Listen, I am 10 years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, fuck, I wish I could do that again.
Yeah.
I know that I probably even next year, I joke around and say like, I'm going to pull a Jay-Z and come out of retirement next year and go do a quick little jaunt around the country. But I really now want to inspire this next generation to start doing dinners. We brought on a young girl right out of culinary school this year. It was nice to add some feminine touch to our team of all boys.
Yeah.
She's literally right out of school, super clean, great knife skills, like a lot going for her. 1 month after me kind of saying it's done, she's doing her first pop-up this weekend. I've had so many chefs come and work with me and then be like, can you help me do a pop-up? Can you tell me how to do this?
Yeah.
This girl I'm doing it, right? And she wanted to cancel halfway through. I said, no. You got 8 people coming. Get your first dinner out of the way. She's up to 16 people now. Like, I'm like, you know how many guys will come to work with me saying they want to do this, talking about doing this? Guess what? You're not talking. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it. And that to me really kind of refuels me, because if I can help this next generation, if I can give them some insight into doing, you want to get on the road, I'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I know you want to talk about the cannabis.
Yeah.
But you should, because I know you do your thing with the ACF where you have like your certification course. Yeah. You should do how to do a traveling pop-up certification course. Yeah. Because honestly, culinary schools aren't teaching that right now, and they need to, because that's a very viable option for chefs.
Yeah. No, I realize that now. I have carved out some really niche skills that I can teach people. And, these young chefs that spent the last couple of years with me, my sous chef, Avery, he came on, he was just about to turn 19 when I hired him, spent 2 years with me. He never missed a day in 2 years. As a young man who wants to go out and be with friends, he showed up every day. He is a dog you want in the trenches. When you're knee deep in the weeds, he's the guy you want beside you. And so I am internally grateful for him being there and never leaving me hanging, because now that I'm doing this by myself without him, I'm like, I miss you, Avery. The dishes got to be cleaned at the end of the night. I'm like, Avery?
Yeah. Avery, if you're listening.
There's some dishes need to be done.
Get to work. What are you thinking? Tell a little bit about the Cannabis Summit.
Yeah. So again, kind of realizing these skill sets that I've put together and all these chefs that have been reaching out and, hey, can I come be part of this? What can I do? We've got the ACF certification. Yeah. Right. So my goal is, how can we get more people through that course? And then I thought, there's a big cannabis conference going to New York on the 8th and 9th of October. And I thought, I'm going to do a culinary cannabis summit on the 7th. And I'll take advantage of all the cannabis chefs that are flying into New York for this, because now I can get them to come be part of it. So I'm bringing in the biggest cannabis chefs out there who've been doing what I've been doing. And we're going to teach for 4 hours. When you register for this summit, you automatically get signed up for the American Culinary Federation course. So you can take that certification at your own pace, your own time. You can take it before the summit, or you can take it afterwards. But in this summit, we're going to teach you how to market these cannabis dinners through social media. How do you put an ad out there and not get it taken down?
Yeah.
Right. How can you, like, there's cannabis brands out there that will sponsor these dinners. They'll give you the cannabis to cook with, right? Sometimes they'll even pay you to cook with it. So I'm going to teach you how to approach these brands, how to approach dispensaries, and get the support from the cannabis industry. Because the more successful cannabis events that happen, it just helps break the stigma around cannabis, right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you're talking about teaching basically the complete experience.
Yeah.
Because knowing how to cook is one thing. Yeah. Knowing how to cook with cannabis is another thing. Knowing how to market it, how to do a pop-up, like these are all different skill sets. Yeah. And a lot of times as chefs, we just get so focused on, I know how to cook.
Yeah.
Right. But it's all this other stuff that goes into making sure that you're sold out, doing a whirlwind tour from, I remember what you said, from Buffalo to Cincinnati to Austin.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm traveling everywhere, but I've been doing this for 7 years. When I first started, it was 3 cities, right? Like, start small. Don't be afraid to fail. Your first dinner might, listen, I put out some bad dishes. I overserved some people's cannabis in the first couple rounds, right? But like, you're going to learn from mistakes. You're going to grow from that, right? And if you always fear what you don't know, how are you going to know, right?
Yeah. I was going to ask, like, how do you, so right now you're just doing like, the one you just did in Austin was Omakase?
Yeah. Well,
did you go to it?
I didn't. No, not this one.
Yeah,
I went to this last time. It was
I did 6 seatings here over the last 2 days. The first day I just did my summer menu that I've been doing.
How many courses on
5.
5?
So I do 5 courses, and then if you sit at our chef's table, you get an extra 2 and a glass of Prosecco.
They got to pay more.
A little more.
Yeah, good. How much is a little?
About half the price of the ticket. So
Good. Sit at the chef's table.
yeah, you get to talk with me the whole time. You know, you give you a little Prosecco.
You get an extra dose.
You can. Well, usually I'll cut a little piece of butter or something. Did I send you home with the butter or anything?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
So you know how like you go to a lot of like fine. Do you guys do anything at a pasta bar for a takeaway after dinner?
We do. I mean, we give everyone menus and then like cookies.
Yeah. Like little macarons.
Just little, just little. Like,
I wanted to do that.
I was gonna say you give them.
I wanted to do a takeaway. Well, I went out and bought these things. Actually, we were putting together like a morning coffee, like a pound cake, right? That was infused, right? And so this was my idea, but it's to add this on top of everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it's like a pre-made. Well,
Yeah.
you could buy the pre-roll joints.
Yeah.
You could
So
sponsor
because
like,
we're moving. So my wife and I have put all our stuff in storage. And we're moving to Miami September 1st,
Nice.
and I'm gonna do every second weekend an omakase dinner out of my house.
Yeah.
Right. I've already sold the month of September out because I got enough people in Miami, and like I can't wait to just serve 8 people in my kitchen with all my toys, all my tools. At the end of the night,
a familiar kitchen.
not carrying anything.
not having to pack up, not having to get up at 4 a.m. and pack stuff, and like I'm looking forward to that because here's the funny thing. I said hard end date. I gotta cut the handcuffs off of this touring, but I can't do it cold turkey because there's bills to be paid. So I gotta slowly wean off of doing dinners. I may do the occasional fly into a city for one night, do one night, and then go home, but these longer than 3-day trips, they got to stop.
How quickly do you sell out?
I will market an event 10 weeks ahead before I get there.
Yeah.
I've got about a 40% rebooking across the board of past guests wanting to come back again. And then in some cities like Columbus, I had a moment in Columbus where we had a group of guests that came to every single pop-up I did there. They were all strangers. They all met at the first dinner. And they all came back every time as a group, right? And it just a moment at the end of the night, and I got a little emotional myself, and it was just like, I thought I would come to Columbus once. It was supposed to be just let's go check out Ohio, and it became a main stop for us. And there's some guests out there that have meant a lot to me, right? So
I want to go back to what I was saying because I'm just curious if it's something that can be done, and if not, I want to know why it can't be done because I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
So you have a dinner.
Yep.
At the end of it, you want to give them a little takeaway.
Yeah.
I'm kind of serious when I say, could you not give them joints, or is there like a legal reason why you can't give them joints? I'm just curious. I'm wondering there might be a reason.
No. Normally, if we have brand sponsors, right, in a state, if I'm in a state where it's recreationally legal, chances are I'll have a brand sponsor, and they give goodie bags.
Okay.
Right. So they will give you a little pre-roll and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, I mean, everything that I'm doing is in a gray space.
Yeah. Nothing
Nothing is fully legit and legal.
Walking at the razor's edge.
Watching the razor's edge, and and it's if you wait for regulation.
Just wait till the cocaine dinner.
Hey, that's a dinner I want to do because you don't have to do any prep. You won't have to make any food. Right? We just send out some water and people will be just chatting away for hours.
Right. Yeah, that won't happen anytime soon. But yeah. It's all joking aside. By the way, we're not doing cocaine dinners for people that are listening. At least we're not advertising. No, we don't do that. But a serious question, like, how do you? Because I want to ask Dan this too, like, because you have both of you have very specific dining experiences that you have to create. Yours tasting menu, but usually in a home.
Yeah.
How do you create something special that's so exclusive, and how important is the hospitality aspect when you have such intimate dining? I'll ask you, Dan, first.
I mean, hospitality is number one. Yeah, I think, as a young cook or a young chef, you get in the mentality of it's all about the food. Everyone's coming here for the food and like all that. And I mean, until recently, I got to the point in front of us, it's like they're paying for the whole experience.
Yeah.
And it's the second they walk into the door, and you hear it ad nauseum with like, a lot of like great front of house people in GM. So it's like, smile, just like greet people with a smile and like hello and welcome in and like welcome in like they're coming to your home. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a friend coming over. And especially working in fine dining, people very like stiff and they're like, oh man, I gotta be proper and I gotta, I'm paying a lot of money for this. So, but like as soon as you just like smile and like make sure everyone's having a fun and good time, like you just break down that like, oh, this doesn't need to be this rigid, stiff thing. Like anytime we have new hires, front or back of the house, it's like the first thing pouring water. It's always like the hand behind the back or like standing. It's like, stop, just be comfortable, be normal. Like, and then talking to them, it's like this scripted, like, and for this next course you have, it's like, just they're people, talk to the people. Like, don't talk to them like a friend, like, all right, y'all. So listen here. And it's like, just have a conversation with people and make sure they feel comfortable and welcome. The ambiance is important, the music, lighting, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, hospitality is number one.
Do you talk to a lot of the guests at the counter?
I talk to every guest.
Every guest.
It's fucking insanely difficult for me. I am like the biggest introvert you've probably ever met.
Yeah.
Like coming on podcasts for me is even like, all right, let's get ready. You got to like talk and people are going to listen to you. But it's important. It's something, again, early in my career, I was the chef of restaurants. Like, oh, go touch some tables. I'm like, like, no, seriously, go touch it. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm just not doing that. Like, I'm just like an awkward person. And like, for me, it's just feels unnatural. And this restaurant's helped out a lot because we are on stage. Like, there is no hiding from the guests. And the culinary director even turned to me and was like, it goes a long way. Like, you just go and like say hello to someone and like, oh my God, the chef talked to me. Like, that's so amazing.
Well, yeah, social media has kind of put us on a pedestal a little bit. And same with all the cooking shows and everything. So, the one thing for me, it's like I can be on the road for 3 weeks. I'm in a mood. I'm tired. But the guests have been looking forward to this for the last 10 weeks. They spent a lot of money. They're excited. So I can catch on people's energy. When people come into the room and they're all excited and happy and the volume's going up, it will change my mood instantly because I feed off of that energy.
Yeah.
And I really realized by bringing on, Chef Jay on to do dinners for me, and people were like, oh, you're not coming. And I'm like, I'm very proud of the food I put out there. But again, I didn't take the traditional route. I'll never be the chef that Chef Dan is, right? And so I always thought sending these other celebrity chefs out there, and then people are like, oh, it's not you. And I'm like, wow, but it's Chef Jay. And they're like, yeah, but I wanted to come for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think it took me a little time to realize that. And, I'm not just a chef. I'm also entertaining. Like it's, from beginning to end. And it's like, I've got a script. I didn't write it out, but I've been saying the same corny jokes for, 2 years. Well, here's the one I used to do. Here's the one I used to do is I go, I used to go, hi everyone, my name's Chef Travis Petersen. I go by the name Nomad Cook. You might hear a bit of an accent. Sorry. It's Canadian. It's customary. Go get out of the way. Now I go, we're no longer sorry.
Yeah.
And that one was I was getting laughs in every room. And then I do, oh, my maple syrup cost me an extra 35% now. Right. And the room last night, I got crickets last night. I was like, oh shit, this is all conservatives in here.
You're in Texas. You can't crack those jokes. It's funny because a lot of people, I'm like Dan, I'm extremely shy. Like in real life, people that know me, like I'm quiet, I'm introverted, I'm reclusive. And I would have to be forced to go to the table. I always tell them, like, if they want to talk to me, get me. But if they, like, I'm not going to go talk to someone that maybe doesn't want to talk to me. There's nothing worse.
Yeah.
But here's a story. Do you guys know who Dean Ferring is?
No.
He's a legendary chef in
Heard the
Dallas.
name. Heard the name.
So he was big in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I mean, he's still big, right? He's got a restaurant inside the Ritz-Carlton in Dallas, but he's a legend. One of the fathers of Southwest cuisine. And he did that before social media. Like everyone knew he was famous before social media could make you famous.
It's remarkable when like chefs were famous before like social media. It's
right.
Like Marco Pierre.
Exactly. Like rock star.
Yeah.
So Dean was famous in Dallas because he would go and like everyone knew he was taking pictures with people, touching the tables, talking to people. Like they went to Fairings or to the mansion on Turtle Creek because of Dean Faring. Like he was going to work the dining room as much as working in the kitchen. And 2013, this is, again, social media is not even really a thing. It's not even really a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but
It's a thing.
It's a thing, but it's not a
so
thing.
young.
Yeah. You're not social media famous yet.
No.
Yeah. And so he comes to my restaurant in Dallas, and I'll never forget because he calls me over. He's like, "Hey, give me a tour," and I'm showing him around. I'm going upstairs, showing him this, that, and the other. And there's these two girls in the corner, really good looking, beautiful girls sitting in the corner by themselves. And I see them like whispering in each other's ears, and they're like, "That's the chef." And I'm like, "That's, yeah, right. That's me, right? That's me." And they come up and they're like, "Oh my God, can we get your picture?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." And then they handed me the camera so they could take a picture with Dean in my restaurant.
That's awesome.
I was like, holy shit. But it's funny. He was a class act. He's like, no. Andre's a great chef. Get in the picture too. And I just remember thinking, like, that was the moment I was like, that's how famous this dude is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people want to take pictures of him in my restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But he mastered the art of talking to guests and creating, that experience.
It's a completely different skill.
Yeah, it is.
Just like you said, working the dining room and like being like a showman.
Yeah.
I've always just been like head down, focus on the food. And I mean, I've been like critiqued by guests. They've left reviews that are just like, oh, this like Captain Arrogant is what they call me. Like Captain Arrogant, just like, yelling at the cooks and like, shouting all this. And I wasn't even like yelling at the cooks. We just do callbacks. It's just like in a traditional kitchen where you're just like fire to snapper and everyone calls it back.
Right.
But they expected like this person to be up there just like talking to them the entire time. So it's a give and take, but it's just not my forte.
Well, and also, I mean, I'm going to defend why I didn't go out to the dining room a lot. A lot of times, if I was in the restaurant, I'm working the pass.
Yeah.
I don't have time to if I leave for 5 minutes, I have to take someone off the line, like watch the line really quick.
Watch the pass, watch Expo. Like
it wasn't so easy.
So I did a tour with Soho House in Europe 3 years ago. They gave me Amsterdam, Brighton, London, and finishing in Paris. And they told me Paris is going to be 100 people. So for me, it's going to be the biggest dinner I've ever done. I have 1 day to prep for it, right? We go through Amsterdam, kill it, London, kill it, Brighton, kill it, get into Paris. And we get the prep done all day. Next day comes around, it's, game day. The hotel says, okay, we're going to have a manager's meeting. Everyone comes in the room. We're going to do it in English because we have an English guest here today. And they're walking through the night. And I said, at what point do I go out and do my opening speech? And they looked at me and like, what speech? I said, well, I have a format. Before every course I introduced, they said, chef, you're doing restaurant takeover. I said, what? I said, you're going to take over the restaurant. You'll run our kitchen tonight. We're taking our menu out and we're going to put your menu down. Now, I've never worked in a real kitchen. I came off of MasterChef. I made 2 episodes of MasterChef and got eliminated. Right? So I've never run a line. I've never worked a line. So I'm sitting there in this meeting having a full-on fucking panic attack of like, oh, I'm going to be exposed. What do I do? Oh my God. And I go to the washroom. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you're in it. It's just fucking go time, right? Fake it till you make it. Get up there. Now, thankfully, the sous chef they gave me, this guy from Hungary, Simon, if you're out there, you're an angel. A couple times I got lost in the weeds of the tickets. Yeah. And he would come and organize and then just turn. Never boasting or putting his, just making me feel really comfortable. And we ended up doing 103 covers in 3 hours. We only dosed up to 10 milligrams.
How many courses?
4 courses.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Five chefs. I'm at the line. 5 chefs behind me. Y'all take it out. We chef. Right? Like, so halfway through the dinner, the GM.
And this is in Paris. So no one speaks English.
No. Right? Oh. And so halfway through the dinner, the GM goes, a table would like to see you, chef. Is it good? She's like, I don't know. Okay.
Reassuring.
I go out there and he's like, I do the French. Sorry if my French accent gets you here, but I come to restaurant. I wanted my vodka penne. I wanted this. They won't let me have that menu. They show me your menu. I go, what is this? I don't know what this is. I decide to get it. it's the best meal I've had in a while. Like, totally dress me down and then fucking throw me right back up, right? But yeah, we ended up, again, one of the hesitations with culinary cannabis right now is, the myth is it can't be done in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. But if anyone could do it, it's going to be chefs, right? You just treat it. Every single person has an allergy. That's how much attention you have to put on the plates when you're adding the cannabis into it. And
by the way, that sounds horrifying.
That is, I just got anxiety.
Yeah.
Just like,
treat every plate like it has salad. Like
that.
I don't want to do it.
No.
I think every chef just listens to you.
No, I'll pass.
That's why I think when this finally does come, because it's coming. Like, this is not a fad. This is a dining experience that people enjoy and are going to want to come to. I think eventually you have your executive chef, your executive pastry chef, and your executive cannabis chef. There's going to be one person in the kitchen who is fully responsible, top to bottom, for all
you
this.
think that's coming?
Yeah, I do. I think we're starting to see consumption lounges opening up in Vegas, in California. There's places in New York right now. There's a place called Cakes on Queens. You can go in there and they've got a pastry chef making infused edibles. Is it fully legal? I don't.
Shout out to Cakes.
Hey, Cakes got so big they just opened a second location in Queens because they got all the celebrities in New York going there, right? Like, you've got Miguel Trinidad of the 99th Floor in New York, right? This Cannabis Supper Club's been around for 5 or 6 years. So it's happening, right? And, right now I am negotiating with the Soho House to kind of join them exclusively. So only do dinners for their members.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of my next play to keep cooking while I do education is, I have no problem getting on a plane, flying to a Soho House and working in a real kitchen with rationales instead of a Airbnb danky oven that may or may not have gas.
Yeah. You mentioned MasterChef.
Yeah.
Two episodes.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I
Would you do it again? How was that? And then would you do it again?
I went in so confident that I moved out of my house because my lease was expiring.
Yeah.
So I was going to be there for 10 weeks. I'm going to win this thing. I get there. Again, I'm a home cook.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as I get there, I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. Right. I got in front of the judges. The first thing I fucked up on was you needed 3 yeses. I did moqueca with spot prawns. You had 55 minutes to cook and then 5 minutes in front of the judges. And they said, you have to do something in front of the judges. You can't just put your plate down. So I'm going to deshell my prawns and then put them in the bowl and assemble the soup. Now I'm doing the showman thing. It's reality TV. So I'm going to talk and I'm going to wow these judges with my personality. I'm going to charm them. And I'm chatting away. I'm building my moqueca. I take the one spot prawn. I leave the head on, take the shell off, put it in the center. So it looks nice and beautiful. It's still tentacles sticking up. And I said, are you done, chef? He said, yep. I'm not a chef yet. Are you done? Yes, I am. Are you sure? Yes. Right. First judge comes up. Knife cuts are great on here. Everything's the same size. Tastes delicious. Second judge comes up, perfectly seasoned, citrus, great. Third judge, Alvin Long, who is the Gordon Ramsay of the MasterChef Canada. They call him the Demon Chef. And so he comes up and he's like, this is delicious. I just wish there were more prawns in here. I said, chef, there's lots of prawns in there. I don't know. I'm digging deep. I can't find any. I look over to my left and I left all the prawns on the cutting board, except for the one I put in the center. And that got me a no. And so then I got put into an elimination round. Yeah. We had to do some mise en place, and I cut people. I got through that one, and then you had to cook with that mise en place. So I made tacos, and I did not season my pico de gallo because, again, I'm a home cook, and I thought,
where's the salt shaker?
I thought putting salt was like, salt's not good for you, so I never put salt on anything. Yeah. And so I bring these tacos in front of the judges, and he's like, "Did you season your pico de gallo?" I said, "No." Like, the most confident no. There's not a drop of salt on it. Right? And I'm eliminating. Like, right there, I know, like, I'm going home. He's like, they're kind of tailgate tacos, aren't they? I'm like, oh, that's not a good. And so I remember having to go back to my station and standing there for the last 90 minutes while they go through each person. And I was like, I'm soaking this in right now. The big clocks above, like, I've been watching this show on TV
Sure.
for years. So it was a really cool experience. I soaked it up. I wanted to go back the next year.
Yeah.
And
Would you do it now though?
No. I got asked to do Next Level Chef a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I like that show though.
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
my whole thing was those shows give you the ability to do pop-ups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and the one thing Fox said to me, it was like, yeah, you can't talk about cannabis, right? We're not going to say you're a cannabis chef. We're going to say you're a traveling chef. And I was like, well, I don't want to do it then.
Yeah.
Like for me, it would have been about publicizing myself as a cannabis chef on a conservative station like Fox, right? So, so it just didn't line up. You know, I had my fun. I wouldn't go back. I even every now and then people are like, oh, you should do a cooking show. And I'm like, you know, I got approached once. We made a pilot and it was supposed to be, you know, I would go to an Italian restaurant. We would be like, can we put cannabis in Italian food? We would try and change their menu. We have a problem. We fix the problem. And then the guests would come in, eat the food and be like either yes or no to Italian. And then the next episode would be Indian. And then, right. But then what happens when you run out of cuisines, right?
Would you ever jump on Top Chef?
I've applied twice. I did it when I was like in my mid-20s. I applied when I was like in my mid-20s, but at this point, no.
No, I was thinking like you'd be great on it.
Yeah, I think you would be great on Top Chef.
I
think you need to do it, Chef.
I've never been like
Top Chef
great at like quick fire stuff. Just like, I mean, I'm good thinking on my feet, but like I'm the type of chef I want like time to like really conceptualize a dish and like work on it and R&D it, and like I'm way too self-deprecating that I'm gonna put something in front of like whoever the judge. I don't watch it that much anymore. Like this is probably not a good advertisement for me if I want to be on Top Chef, but I'd probably be like, it's not that good, but you know, enjoy anyway. But no, I mean, I get a lot of people that say you should go on it. I don't know, never say never, but I mean, I've worked with and for so many people that have been on it and won it that like I worked for Michael Voltaggio who won it, and he even turned to me, he's just like, it's your time, chef. And I'm like, I'm good. That's your lane. Like that's your thing.
I saw an interview with I think it was Michael Voltaggio, where he was talking about how the sustainability of a restaurant is good food, not my personality.
100%.
Yeah. And he was saying how he thought after, I think it was him. He thought that after Top Chef, everyone's going to just flock for that. But it's like after a while, it's like that wears off.
Yeah.
The restaurant's got to be good.
Yeah. Well, and I worked for him at Inc. right after he won Top Chef. Like right after he opened Inc. I joined the team like 9 months after he opened, and like you could tell it was like that Top Chef like busyness because of it. They had just like had the Voltaggio cookbook. I was out visiting my uncle. Actually, I think I was going to Coachella, and my uncle was like, let's go eat somewhere. And I was like, I want to go eat at Inc. And that was the first time I had eaten at a restaurant where I was eating the food, and first off, it was delicious, but it was just like, how the fuck did he do this? How did he do this? And after that trip, I was like, I have to work here. I sent my resume to the CDC every day for like a month. And then finally he was like, all right, come in stage. I'm tired of you emailing me. And yeah, it was definitely the type of restaurant where there was a lot of hype around it, but like the food was fucking good. Like we were cooking really, really, and doing like 200 covers a night. Like doing less than 200 covers was like a slow night for us at Inc. And it was like a fucking meat grind.
200 covers is a lot for that type of food.
Oh yeah, and like when I first got there, we were doing, it was mostly a la carte, but we had a tasting menu too. And it's not like Pasta Bar where it's like, all right, we got 25 people coming in tonight, and we know it's one menu. Like you didn't know how many tasting menus you're going to sell, so it's like shit. I got to prep like 30. I remember I had to make crepes every day for the tasting menu, and I was like, I'll make 40 crepes. I don't know. And then you'd sell like 5, and then it's like, I'm not making 40 crepes. And you make like 10. You're like selling through tasting menus, like. Yeah.
You know, I had a chance to go to Pasta Bar in December. We had been connecting through social media and that, and I finally got to come and sit down. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but that dining experience made me change my format this year. You know, last year we were doing seatings of 24 to 40 people, right? And that's 150 plus plates from 4 to 5 courses, right? And there's very little guest interaction. The dinner I had at Pasta Bar was one of my top 10 dining experiences in the last 5 years.
Okay.
I came in by myself, was greeted right away at the door, I was made to feel special.
Yeah.
And I had a smile on my face from front to end. I remember sitting there. I don't know if you remember this, but some tech bro brought in one of his blondie dates, and they were sitting down, and they weren't enjoying it as much as I was, and it was bothering me.
We get those guests a fair amount.
And I'm just like, every time chef will come to like explain the dish, I'm like listening every single word, and then he'd go to do it to them and stand on his phone. I'm like, buddy, put your fucking phone down. Chef's talking to you right now. You know.
I'll tell you what. That's also a reason why I don't like touching tables, because there's nothing worse than going to a table. Yeah, okay, and then you sit there and you explain everything. Can I get some water?
Yeah.
And it's like you weren't listening to anything I said. You were just waiting to.
I'll go back to the chefs, because at Pasta Bar, like you saw, every chef spiels the food. Like the front of house doesn't do it. So I'll go back to the past, and I'll just turn around and be like, hey, seat 5, short spiels. Like, they don't give a shit. They're just here to be seen. They're just here. They're using their, business card or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that. Like, you'll get that. You'll get chefs that come in and they're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. How do you recognize the chef?
We tried to our due
But
diligence.
Do you ever?
Do you say you're a chef?
No, never. I never say I'm a chef. When
I remember we talked about this.
Never.
I remember we talked about this once.
I won't do it. Like I don't know. I feel like it's a flex to the. It's like why do I care?
Yeah.
Unless I know them.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm like, hey, I'm coming to your restaurant.
Hey, I'm coming in. Cool.
I feel like
We're
that's
friends.
a respectful.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But to walk into another restaurant, it's like, I don't want to, unless I'm going to come bring some beer to the kitchen or a gift, right?
Yeah.
But I normally recognize chefs like they start flipping over the plates, they start looking at the silverware, like they make
They
obvious.
They ask like certain technical questions that like
Yes.
a normal guest wouldn't ask. It's and I've picked it up sometimes. Like, you chef?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, I can tell. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a normal question.
It's much more enjoyable working with small groups, as opposed to the big groups. But where we did one seating before, now we're doing 2 seatings a night. So sometimes my second seating, my charisma is not matching level 1 or the first seating. Sometimes I want to get through it. So hey, I'm not even gonna say these jokes. I'm gonna go quick through the opening speech, right? So this year I've really been kind of going through the quality, like I think our quality hurt a little bit this summer by trying to do all of these dinners, right? And I'm seeing little mistakes here and there that have been made because it's like 2 dinners tonight, 2 dinners tomorrow, 3 dinners the next day. Like, it's just the schedule I've made is just it's retarded. Like I hurt myself by making the schedule that I did, but I'm in it now and there's no change in it, So, I think there's something, we all have big ambitions in that, but sometimes you need to tone yourself down, right? Because you may not realize at the time, but you could be hurting the experience by, trying to do too much.
Yeah. I mean, chefs are the best at that, right?
Oh, 100%.
Cut our nose to spite our face.
Yeah. I got this. I'm just gonna do it all, and then you're like, what is it?
Was that the first cannabis dinner you attended?
That is, yeah.
How'd you find it?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciated that you made it a safe space, and like he has this spiel where he's like, there's a couple of things that like I won't tolerate, but I
No
appreciate
peer pressure.
the peer pressure one was something I really appreciated. Where he's just like, if someone's like if someone even goes there and is just like, I don't even want weed, like no, like, oh come on, like I appreciated that because I think there was a couple people at the dinner that are like, I've never even had cannabis before. I've never even smoked, and so it's like. It can be really, really anxiety ridden, and especially people give like weed a big stigma of just like, I'm just gonna get this crazy anxiety and it's gonna freak me out. So I really appreciate you made it a safe space. But then just going at the dose that everyone wanted. But then just making it a fun experience along the way and having stories with it. And I think.
Did you eat food after the dinner?
No, No, my wife came and picked me up, and I was just like laughing the whole time home, and I was just like, that was fun.
Does it matter? Do you use indica or sativa for food, or does it not matter?
So indica and sativa are false terms created by the industry to help sell cannabis to new consumers. The chances of you finding a true 100% sativa or 100% indica are so rare nowadays. You got to go into the OGs up in California who've been grown for 30 years that kept those seeds, because everything has been crossbred and hybrid. So it's more in depth. It's the terpenes, right? The terpenes are.
And I remember us talking about this last
right.
time.
Yes. So it's the terpenes so I'll work with 2 strains, right? Let's just say your indica and your sativa, but I would never classify that. I'm going to look at what are the terpenes in this first strain. I need limonene, pinene, caryophyllene. Those 3 are all uplifting, energetic, rejuvenating. And then you've got like linalool and myrcene, which are your sedative, knock you out. So the first question is the strain I'm working with, what is the THC percentage? I need to know what that is so I can do the math and figure out what the dosage is on that. But it's what are the terpenes in this strain, and how can I pair that with the terpenes in course 1 and course 2, right? And by course 3, I'm going to switch into this sedative strain now. It's going to really put you in the couch lock in that. And how do I pair those? If you eat a mango 30 minutes before smoking your first joint, the mango will increase the effects of the cannabinoids. You'll get a little more stoned from it. So I can actually utilize my actual ingredients to help create that effect that you're feeling, right? So that's really what we're trying to teach. And like a lot of times the guests that come into my dinner, they don't know these terms. They know indica and sativa.
That's the only terms I know.
Yeah. And by the time they walk out the dinner, now they've learned, there's something called terpenes. And, the words are intimidating, but, the easiest one to remember, limonene, limes, right? Limonene, we find it in citrus rinds, and it's energetic. It's got that boosting to it. So, terpenes, a terpene by itself will not do anything to you. It's just flavor and aroma. There's over 100 terpenes in cannabis that we know of now. And terpenes, I always thought chefs were going to get really excited for, because it's new flavors, it's new smells. Terpenes are unregulated. So anyone can go out and buy terpenes right now. And last year I got to go to Alinea. I was in Chicago. And that restaurant, obviously researching who comes in. So right away they're like, "Oh, you're the cannabis chef." I was like, "Oh, okay, you guys got it." "Well, we just want you to know there is terpenes in one of our courses." I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Don't tell me which course it is. I want to see if I can pick it out." And he did some sort of fish dish with like this coconut broth and that.
Did they do that just for you, or that's part of what they do?
I think it was it was part of their menu, from what the server told me. Because in my head I was like, man, when chefs discover terpenes, like, let's just remove the cannabis and getting high part, but just terpenes by themselves, it's a new tool to manipulate and create flavors and aromas and that, right? So to see one of the best chefs in the world has already kind of honed in on those and is using them in a menu was really cool. Now, when a terpene is combined with a cannabinoid, it's called an entourage effect, and that's where we get those specific reactions, like the munchies or tiredness or energy, right? So, there's a whole new industry that's going to come out there for private chefs with sports medicine, right? You can create dishes and recipes for athletes that will focus on body rejuvenation, help them with sleep. You've been on an East Coast road trip for 10 days. Now you're back in LA on Pacific time. That's a 3-hour time swing. Well, here's a ginger turmeric hummus you can have 2 hours before bed, high in caryophyllene. We've used CBD. There's a little bit of THC in there. So again, you're eating healthy, you're focusing on superfoods, right? And you're using the plant over pills to help with recovery in that.
That's wild.
Major League Baseball, NCAA, NBA all allow cannabis use, right? These leagues are allowing their athletes to use it, and I think there's some chefs gonna take this and run with it.
Yeah, hopefully whoever's listening, don't forget where you heard it.
Yeah.
Don't forget. So I was thinking about this. I went to dinner the other day with a group of chefs. We're having drinks and it's getting rowdy. And
as it always does.
As it always does, right? And we got on the subject of, only because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, is when do you take care of the chef that comes into the restaurant? It's do they pay for everything? Do you comp them? Do you comp them a little bit? Do you comp the whole thing? If they're your friend and where do you all fall in that?
It's funny, because I just went to a friend's restaurant with my wife before leaving on the second part of the tour, and we're like, it's time to order in the menu. And I just said to my wife, I'm like, let's just pick a couple things, because there's a chance he's just gonna start killing us with food.
Yeah.
Right. And he did. Right. And I'm glad I went there, because I would have picked a lot of stuff on the menu. He still would have sent more food out. And I hate when I'm full.
Yeah.
I will keep eating, because I don't want the chef to be like, if someone doesn't finish a plate, I'm in my head already. Why? Right.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
Right. What was wrong with it? Right.
I always tell people, like, look, don't be offended. I don't eat as much as people think.
Yeah.
So if there's food on the plate, it's nothing more than I'm not a huge eater. So if you're going to send me stuff, keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm right away like, hey, make sure you get some takeout boxes for me, because I'm going to take all this home. I'm going to eat it. I like to try everything. I want to have a bite of this, and this, right?
But if you're in a restaurant and the chef sends you stuff out that you didn't order, should you pay for it? Like, should the chef take care of that, or should you pay for it?
If they sent
it out to you,
yes. If you didn't ask for it, then
right?
Yeah.
No, I've worked in a restaurant group where they were like, "There's no discounts. We don't discount anybody or any anything, any scenario." But they would just kill people with, like, we're just gonna send them out. Like, they'd tell the server, like, tell them to order like 2 things, and then they'd send them out like the whole menu. I've also, I mean, like, right now, like, we do like industry discounts and stuff like that. It just depends on the person. Like, we do supplemental, like, we do like truffles and caviar, and sometimes I'm just go and like, hey, you want some truffles and caviar? And I'll just give it to you. It just depends on the restaurant. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I think it's always important.
I try to go the extra mile. If I find there's a chef coming in, or someone's like, oh, I'm a chef, then they're going to get a little more attention from me. Probably because I'm trying to inspire chefs right now to take my course and do this, right? So, everyone is really curious about culinary cannabis, whether you're a guest or a chef, right? And the chefs are going to have different questions, right? Yeah. And so, again, I think I've achieved all the goals that I set, and then some, right? I got to cook in Paris, which I don't think I really had the right to do it. It's the highlight of my career. It was amazing. But I want to be remembered as the guy who opened the door for this next generation.
Yeah.
Right here. Let's get this next generation in restaurants where you can go and order. That's what I want to be part of now.
Yeah. I commend you for that, because I think what you're doing is important work. If I had to, like, establish a rule book, this is just my rules. People they can argue in the comments, argue amongst yourselves. I'm not responding. But I've had a different approach for a different restaurant. If I'm in a place where money's no object, I'll comp your dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll comp your dinner. If I'm in a place where every dollar counts, if I send it and you didn't order it, I'm buying it.
It's on me. Yeah.
Right? But if I'm comping your dinner, you better fucking tip on what the whole amount would have been
100
to the server.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that, like, there's some
there's
rules.
definitely some rules. Like, there's some...
I mean, if my bill has been comped, I'm tipping more than 20% of what that bill is, right? I want, like,
right.
But
you shouldn't expect to go in and get comped.
No.
Because if you do, it's probably not going to happen, right? It's when
right.
you're not expecting it, but that makes the experience that much more special.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
But I won't say where, but I've been to places where they've sent me out, like, don't order, chef, like, we're gonna send you some stuff, and then I get the bill and it's like $1,000. I'm like, fuck.
So here's a funny story about. Here's a funny story.
Happened. It really has happened.
Here's a good story about bills. Is after that Paris dinner, my wife booked us a dinner at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Versailles. Now, I'd done his restaurants in Vegas and was not overly impressed, so I didn't even bother to look at the menu or where we were going. All I knew is that
it's like a 2-star restaurant, right?
So all I know is that my wife is excited for a dinner, right?
Yeah.
Which is usually me. And I'm like, I'm going to go in blind. I don't want to know nothing about the menu. It was, every person had your own server. It was incredible. The meal was amazing. But we go in, we sit down in the cocktail lounge first to have a drink. And I end up ordering a glass of wine that was €40, right? So it was fairly expensive, but we're celebrating. And this wine is delicious. It is worth every euro, right? And I look at my wife and I say, what if we order a bottle of this? Like, this is a special dinner, right? It's going to be really expensive. And she's on board. Let's do it, right? So we sit down at the table, server comes back. I'm like, this glass of wine, it was €40. I'd like to get the bottle. Okay, yeah. Brings the bottle back. We're saying, oh, this wine's delicious. We're drinking it. Anyways, the bill comes out at the end, and I'm like, what? He misunderstood me. He went and got me a bottle of wine that only cost 40 euro. And my wife and I thought we were drinking this fancy fucking top shelf wine, and like, just goes to show, like,
amazing.
So just goes to show, like, if you don't know anything about wine, stick to the cheap bottles, because you think you're drinking something. Like,
Nice placebo effect.
Yes. But then the bill was half the price I thought it was gonna be, and I walked out of that restaurant being like, "What an amazing experience!"
This is the best.
Right?
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes I meet some somms, and I used to have this somm. He's a great somm. Shout out to Hunter Hammett. I don't remember where I think he worked at under Tracy Desjardins, and now I think he's working for Thomas Keller, I think, assuming he's still there. But he's like one of the best somms I've ever worked with. And I used to fuck with him because he was so passionate. He would bring me pours of wine in the kitchen, like, "Chef, you want to try this? This is a, whatever. I would get like a sugar packet, open it up. I'm like, I think it needs more, it needs more grapes. He hated me. But I'm not a big wine drinker, so I hated the fact that he always brought me wine to try when I was like, dude, I don't really drink wine. I like liquor.
Yeah.
I don't drink wine, but it's crazy. Anyway, long story short, back to that is like so many times he would tell me all this shit about wine and be like, "Do you taste the oak? Do you taste?" I was like, "I don't taste anything, brother.
Yeah.
I taste fermented grapes."
We have that in the cannabis. There's cannabis somms, right? And they'll be like, the terpenes and the trichome, and we grew it in this soil, and like, I just went on a
taste the terroir.
it was funny because I just went on a cannabis podcast in California. This one is called Good Pizza Podcast. Shout out to JP. This is for growers. You know how you said to me, this podcast is for chefs. If you're not a chef, it's not going to interest. That's this one. So in the pod, we're smoking joints on this podcast, right? And I keep ashing this joint, and he goes, "Brother, can you do me a favor? Can you stop ashing the joint?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Don't do that." He's like, "Every time you ash it, you're going to dispense the heat." So all of a sudden I've been smoking weed for 20 years. I never heard this, but he's like, "Okay, take 30 seconds between pulls because you'll get more terpenes. Let the weed cool down a bit before you take that nut suck in. And if you leave the ash on and let it naturally fall, it burns smoother and you get more terpenes out of every pull." And so, like, for one, when this podcast airs, I know I'm going to get ripped in the comments by all the girls like, "Look at this idiot. He didn't know not to ash the joint," right? But, when someone is passionate about something, you can really listen to them talk about their passion, right? Like, to me, hey, I'm going to ash my joint still, but it was a humbling experience, and it was just kind of cool to see someone who's put that much love into rolling joints and smoking them, that, hey, there's a correct way to do it.
There's a correct. I mean, it's like cigars. You don't ash your cigar. It's a sign of a good cigar. The longer the ash for it, apparently. I mean, I'm a big cigar smoker, so. But it's funny because I'll smoke my cigars on Sunday and do my Q&As, and I'm like, for people that are listening, like, I'm doing my Q&A. If you've ever watched them, like, I'll just sit there. I'll post the question box like 2 hours before I smoke my cigar. The questions will come in, and I'll like, okay, I'm just getting to the first 10 or whatever. But that's my time to unwind, and I share it with the Chef's PSA audience. We're getting close to wrapping up, so I want to ask some technical culinary questions. I've been asking a lot of people lately, so I'm going to ask one question, then I'd love to hear both your answers. In your kitchen, and I should know, I just had Phillip Frankland Lee on, so some of the answers I may already know. But what is your all-purpose workhorse salt?
Workhorse salt?
Yeah,
Diamond Crystal.
Diamond Crystal.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
Diamond.
Yeah.
What about your finishing acid? Do you have is it lemon? Is it lime? Is it vinegar? General? I mean, I'm sure specific dishes have.
Yeah, for sure, like vinegars and stuff.
Yeah, I depend more on the dish, but I would say lime probably more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I would probably lean towards lime as well, but like there's always lemon and lime on like almost every station.
Do you keep like little bottles of like vinegars too to finish?
We have vinegars on almost every station.
So you champagne vinegar or sherry vinegar?
Honestly, right now we have vinegars that we're not like making our own vinegars. We're like steeping like chili vinegars and stuff like that. So more often than not, it's just like vinegars that we've been like steeping and infusing for a long time. Yeah, right now we're using like an Espelette chili vinegar that we made several months ago. So yeah, I usually just have like flavored vinegars.
What about you? Do you do any flavored vinegars with your things?
No, but one thing that I do is infused Malden salts.
Oh, do you?
Right? So I can infuse salt and sugars and spices with either terpenes or with cannabinoids.
Yeah,
right?
we talked about that last time.
Yeah. So last night I did a hand roll of scallop and foie gras, torched the foie gras, and then afterwards put on that cannabis Malden salt before sending it out. Now that salt is the most fragile form of extraction. Any heat will destroy it. So it's not like I could go and infuse my coarse salt and then throw that and season my soup and expect you to get high off of it.
Could you just explain the process of that really quick so
Yeah.
the listening could do it?
Absolutely. So you're going to make an alcohol tincture. Let's say we have an ounce of flour, right? That ounce of flour at 22% THC will have 6,400 milligrams in it, right? So you would first decarb your flour, either preferably in a sous vide, but if you have to do it in your oven, do it in your oven, 200 Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. You then take...
What's the reason behind decarbonization?
In the cannabis plant, you have a molecule called THCA.
Uh-huh.
THCA does not have any psychoactive properties to it. When you add heat to THCA, it converts into THC. That's why.
So here in Texas, they sell THCA.
Yeah, they sell THC in Texas.
Yes,
because
so
it doesn't have it.
It's from hemp. It's a loophole to get around.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's the same.
Yeah, I was about to say it's the same.
So, but then you're going to add it to your alcohol. So you're going to make an alcohol tincture. Why am I forgetting the name of this?
Like Everclear or something?
Yes, Everclear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
So
super
Everclear is what you want to use because the flavor, you don't really want to pull vodka or rum or whatever. So, you add your cannabis flower decarbed into that Everclear. Yeah. You leave it for 7 to 10 days. Every day, give it a vigorous shake. Okay. Then you're going to strain it. Get rid of the cannabis flower. You've now infused that alcohol with your 6,400 milligrams. I would then take a dehydrator, a bed of salt and pull my Malden salt on a sheet tray, and then pour all that alcohol into the sheet tray, soaking the salt. Put that tray into the dehydrator for 8 hours and evaporate all the Everclear away and transition the cannabinoids into your salt.
People listening, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is your kitchen a Yes Chef kitchen or is it a Herd kitchen?
Oh, it is 100% a Yes Chef kitchen. I talked about this on shout out to Lady Line Cook on Instagram. She's awesome. But she posted like things you hate hearing in kitchens and restaurants.
Yeah.
And I commented, I hate Herd. It's more that I worked for a chef that legitimately would yell at us for saying, like, if you're just like, Herd chef, and he's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? It's like, oh shit. And he's just like, you say yes chef, and he was also a very yes chef, because if you said we chef in that kitchen, he's like, we're not French, we're American. And I'm like, all right, grow up, guy.
Yeah.
But no, I was just trained that, like, when I hear people say Herd, I'm just like, ugh.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm a chef or yes chef, and actually, it's not even yes chef; it's just chef.
Yeah.
A chef became the all-purpose yes, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Chef.
Yeah.
See, I don't require it because we're such a small team. But then in the last 6 weeks with our 2 young chefs, Chef Jay and I were like, these chefs are about to go to another kitchen, go work for another chef, and they're going to represent us. Right. And so I said to them in the last 6 weeks, I'm like, listen, we're going to start being a little harder on some things because we want to make sure we transition you off to your next step in life here. And we've given you good habits. So I'm like, we're going to start saying like, yes, chef. And I want to hear Herd if I've told you to do something. And I fucking wish I never said that because they kind of took us every time I would say something, they're Herd. And I finally was like, you guys say Herd one more fucking time. Like, right? Like, I'm trying to actually do something to like shape you into good, and you guys are making a joke out of this now. And like,
no, someone like in the comments commented about, they're like, oh, like, and trying to get at me. I'm like, I'm not going to turn to people and be like, don't fucking say that like the chef did to me. It's just like, for me, I just.
Yeah. In my kitchen, my rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Say what you want in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't give a shit what you do.
Yeah.
In my kitchen,
I'm not losing
we don't
sleep.
say Herd.
I'm not losing sleep over you saying Herd in your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
That way.
Yeah.
Chefs, where can people find you?
Well, after this week, not on the road. You're going to find me in Miami for the last 4 months of the year. I'm going to be there doing infused omakase every other weekend. And then I am going to take this culinary cannabis summit to New York, October 7th. We take it to Seattle, November 16th. And then the largest cannabis conference in America is in Las Vegas, December 5th and 6th, MJ BizCon. We've partnered up with them, and we're going to be hosting the summit there. So we've already, from posting on my social media, people have been reaching out, hey, you're going to come to Ohio, you're going to bring it here. So I'm hoping that we are getting enough people enrolling, and this will be my focus next year is helping this next generation.
And your Instagram handle?
_Nomad Cook.
Chef, where can people follow?
Cosinetto_DK. Don't really post that much on social media anymore, but 5 days a week at Pasta Bar.
Awesome. This was fun. We'll do it again.
And you can also find us on Sundays watching the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles kick some ass this year. Go Birds.
Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. You know what to do. Make sure you leave 5 stars if you're listening on Spotify or anywhere, really. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. I've completely revamped the Chef's PSA store, shop.chefspsa.com. My team added a ton of new items. I advise you to go check it out. Just peruse, look around. Maybe you see something nice that you like. Keep supporting the show. Go to chefspsa.com. You get books, obviously the merch, early access to episodes on Substack and Spotify for premium members. We'll see you next week. Hit the porno music.
Yo, it's André in the kitchen, mixing, dropping chef knowledge, no fiction, stirring up the beats, heating up the session. Listen close, classes in session.